Everyone wants to put their creative talents on display and make a living doing so, but oftentimes they just don't know where to start or even how to get over their creative humps. My name is Kuchel, I'm a serial creative, and today I'm sharing with you some wisdom that has helped me to create at a high level. I've been blessed to be a creative in the world of game development, photography, videography, music production, and even songwriting. So I know a thing or two about how to help you stay in your creative bag no matter what. In this big world, I want to make sure we look out for the little guy. Why is that? Because the little guy is in all of us, waiting to make big impacts with our creativity. So for today's topic, how building your skills can help you to become more creative.
I would never cancel on my promises. Yeah. Press cancel when it's time to send. No.
Probably the best thing I could have done for myself was build on my talents early, because over time those talents have compounded so much it becomes second nature to do certain things. And you could say that I've developed an instinct when it comes to the ways of applying my creativity. Like, I know exactly what I want when I'm doing something creative. For most of y'all, you're probably unaware of all the ways that your skills have compounded, or even all the skills that you possess in the first place. Here's a bit of insight about that. Sometimes our talents are inherited as affinities and aptitudes from our parents, and we refine those skills. I believe we all have a direction or an affinity that we lean towards, and my philosophy is simple. It's like, if you lean into that direction, or what I call affinities, it's like living life on a fast track lane. Where do we go? What's the destination? I can't really answer all of that. I'm not God. But I can say, however, the earlier that you lean in, the more that you're able to compound on those talents over time. Building on your talents is a solid foundation for creativity, simply because the more you know how to do, the more you're capable of doing. Being capable, being the creative beast that you desire to be, is what attracts ideas to you. At least that's what I think. You're like a bank for creativity. And if the idea deposits into you, you cash it out into the world. So be aware of your affinities, your talents, and then stack your skills on top of the foundation to be the best creative that you can be. So when learning a new skill, it's an unknown known. When learning that skill, you're moving and grooving your way into the known knowns, while understanding there's a bigger picture here, that there are unknown unknowns. At this point, the only thing missing is a garden gnome. No? Nobody? Much of this process creates a sense of wonder, but it also creates a sense of humility, discipline, and a love for the process of growth and self-discovery. You learn that you have more in you than you knew, all because you decided to learn something new. Who would have thought that going more into the uncertainty would lead to more certainty? People always say there are two things in life that are certain: death and taxes. But I would add that whenever you go into situations that are uncertain for purposes of growth or self-discovery, you'll gain more certainty than you had before. That's another one. That's a guarantee. When learning that new skill, you find out that there are adjacent skills, or what I call cousin, uncle, and auntie skills. For example, learning photography means learning how to take photos, right? Shutter speed, the aperture, editing the photos, Lightroom, Photoshop, make the videos about editing photos, the YouTube and all things YouTube, editing those videos, the Premiere Pro, the Final Cut Pro, creating presets to sell, the Shopify, the Squarespace, understanding computer file systems, the Mac, the Windows, backing up files, hard drives, and I haven't even touched on the components of a camera and the physics of photography. Welcome to the skills family, y'all. The best part about acquiring skills is that nobody can take it away from you. It's like in a video game where the character has to level up in order to make it through to the next level, or to other areas of the game that are locked away for that specific level. Once you're at that level, you're at that level. People can try to knock you down, but you're immune to the attacks because you're above it. You feel me? In my other video, I talked about understanding identity. So now that you know who you are and what you can do, you can get paid.
Hold on. Get money, get paid? Okay, we cool.
If a company had to choose blindly between two marketing candidates for a job, Both have similar backgrounds and experiences, but one has the ability to design digital graphics because they spent years doing it for church or their family's business. Who do you think gets the edge? Skills are money makers because a company looks at you as being versatile and being able to do many different things. Unfortunately, most companies take advantage of this and they don't pay people fairly. More money saved by hiring a 2 or even 3 for 1. The companies that appreciate this pay a lot more, even if that means they're a bit more demanding.
We're coming to get our check.
I know I'm talking about jobs and all, and I'll get to being your own boss in a second, but did you know there's a measurement statistic called profit per employee? Say that 5 times fast. Most companies in a survey done by Tipalti made a profit from their employees. The top 20 companies made between $390,000 and $4.3 million in profit per employee. Sheesh. You're probably thinking, how can I get a piece of those profits? And you'd be right to ask that question because you're doing the work after all. The answer I'm gonna give is not the correct one, but it's the most realistic. The answer is you can't. Honestly, you're better off becoming your own boss. I said I was gonna talk about this in a bit. That bit has now arrived. Of course, becoming your own boss means you have to get your money right, like I mentioned in the previous video. But once you do that, and you understand that, and you leverage your understanding of how the business operates, you should be ready to elevate. Now's a good time to go learn if you don't know, right? Don't make the mistake that most people make and think that you'll be successful on day one. Maybe you can be, but the odds are you won't be. Shoot, 20% of businesses fail in the first year. I almost put 2 up, but I saved it. Be cool. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it's trial and error. In order to elevate, you gotta dig the foundation. It means you gotta go down, right? Or spend a lot of money on startup costs. And that can be pretty expensive for most new businesses. But most businesses are negative for a few years while operating. And they operate their way into a positive with good acumen. The skill of operating and understanding businesses is not a creative skill or even an uncle, auntie, or cousin skill. But it is a companion skill. Business skills are companion skills to creative skills, especially if you want to monetize your creativity. Not every creative person should be in business, but if you fall under the umbrella of one that has the capability, capitalize on that. Elevate by getting deep down into the foundation, make it sturdy with the knowledge and understanding, and then propel off of it. I think this was dope. If you didn't get anything from this video, please remember this one thing. Your skills are what make you an asset. The more that you have, the better creative you can become. It doesn't hurt that you can get paid along the way, so never say no to an opportunity to build a skill, especially if it aligns with your affinities or direction in life. All right, y'all. So if you found any of this advice helpful, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more creative insights from a multi-creative.